Hi, so this is the second narrative that's going to be devoted to Fred Morse's publication from 2005. So I'm going to pick up now on page 473. At this point, Morse notes that the poetics of musical description, so the way that we actually describe music in language, that's been advanced by these writers variously, might at first be thought to depend on competing narratives, dependent on either their personal experience as listeners or a kind of interpretative and historically conscious inclination. But he then goes on to reject this thought, and instead he says, well, let's really see this as perhaps something to emphasize whereby the normative and transpersonal nature of narrative, the normative and transpersonal nature of narrative, the way that it shapes our understanding of the world and the way that it communicates from person to person, the transpersonal aspect, of course, plenty of the people we've read have commented on this, becomes a way in which we can almost find no other way to communicate about music. And he says, indeed, it's so much a feature that it plays directly into wider conceptions of what we might term engaged musicality. To be musical involves this kind of engagement with music. The final section of the article then introduces the topic of narrative in relation to musical performance and relates this directly to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. So here are 4 questions which will round out this particular video. Question 7. Which Shakespeare play did Hector Berlioz regard as comparable to the development section of the first movement? So which Shakespeare play did Berlioz regard as comparable to the development section of the first movement? Question 8. Which performance does Morse consider to be closest to Berlioz's account? Toscanini's in 1933 or Artur Rodzinski's in 1944? So is it Toscanini in 33 or Rodzinski in 44 who seems to be closest to understanding the music in the way that Berlioz did? Question 9. Which conductor places greatest emphasis on the unexpected G-flat major harmony that arrives in this passage? Which conductor that Morse examines places greatest emphasis on the unexpected G-flat major harmony? Question 10, and this is the last question. At the very end of this essay, and in conclusion, does Morse favour an essential or an experimental approach to narrative interpretation when we're thinking about instrumental music? Does he say that you should consider it essential to interpret music in this way, or consider narrative as an experimental approach? So which of those does Morse come down in favour of? Okay, so I'm going to end the video and I'll hope to have some responses from you, say by maybe Thursday. And then what we'll do is consider one final text, and I'll probably just introduce part of that, and it'll be a case study application of narrative to, again, an instrumental composition, but a pretty good essay which has been very well regarded on Chopin. So we'll come to that by the end of the week, and we'll move forwards from there. So I'm going to stop just now. Hopefully the light is just bearable enough. You can always listen. Sorry about that, but you can listen, even if I'm just disappearing into the gloom. So I'm going to stop now, and I'll let this go over to YouTube, and hopefully we'll have it ready by tomorrow, Tuesday. Okay, bye for now.